What's good, people? We back with another video today. This one about Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, the Trilogy fight, the biggest fight of the year. I can't wait for it. I know y'all can't wait for it. And this is going to be detailing adjustments for both fighters and what they need to do to ensure their victory, or at least to greatly impact the chances that they win. We're 8 days away now. And, I do want to start with Conor McGregor because he's who I'm picking to win. As y'all know, Conor is my favorite fighter. So I just want to, I need to start with this, some backstory a little bit. Conor, in preparation for his rematch with Dustin, I think it was Conor or maybe one of his coaches, John Kavanagh and Roddy, one of them, or it was Conor himself, said that they were using this Dustin Poirier fight as a warm-up fight in preparation for Manny Pacquiao in a boxing match later on this year. Now, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that's a terrible idea. That's a stupid idea. Maybe one of the dumbest things I've heard in my days. And again, I'm a huge Conor fan, but come on, man. Like, the two are not the same. And Dustin made him pay for it, Conor came in underestimating Dustin's skill. His whole team, really, they thought that Dustin had not improved at all and that he was largely the same fighter. So Conor came in with a traditional boxing stance. I don't think I've ever seen Conor fight like that, first off, where his shoulders were squared up against Dustin rather than that side karate type of stance that he's known for. He was heavy on the lead leg, even more so than usual, given that boxing stance. And Dustin chewed away the legs all day. Dustin used wrestling, the clinch game, early on. It was not a boxing fight. It was a fight, So, and Conor came in here, he even threw I think 3 kicks total in almost 10 minutes of action. That's unacceptable. His game plan was very, for lack of a better term, very shitty. It was very shitty for that rematch. And I think there's some clear adjustments he can make that I think he will make in order for his chances to skyrocket in this trilogy with Dustin. So first off, you need to throw more kicks, man. I think 2 or 3 kicks he threw total in the rematch. That's not going to get it done, man. Even feinting kicks is going to be huge for Conor in this fight. Whether it's kicks to the thigh, his own calf kicks that Dustin showed him in the rematch. His patented teep to the body, that front kick, stabbing front kick to the body, is a huge part of Conor's game, and I don't think he ever threw that kick. Head kicks, he caught Cowboy with a head kick. He can definitely land those. He caught 145 fighter, I forget his name, Diego Brandao, I think, back in the day. He caught him with a head kick. So Conor can land a bevy of kicks, and he needs to use that arsenal in this trilogy if he wants to win. The other thing is, of course, that boxing stance. Get rid of it. I don't want to ever see that boxing stance again. He didn't even use that stance against Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match. So I don't want to see that stance again. Go back to that, to where your shoulders are pointing up against the octagon rather than your opponent. And in that stance, he's able to use that right hand as a gauge of distance to land kicks, to land that left hand. That's going to be a huge factor in this. And also, in that stance, he'll be able to throw more kicks. So those two things are huge. And the other thing is, don't rush. You got 25 minutes. I know a lot of people think Conor's gas tank is terrible. I think that's a bit overrated. And of course, he does slow down, but it's not to the point where it's you can't fight anymore. Don't rush, man. You don't need to get him out of there in the first 30 seconds, the first 60 seconds, in the first 90 seconds like you did the first time. You got him out of there the first time because you weren't rushing. You know, the way he uses that side stance, that karate type of stance, is he's pressuring, he's moving forward for sure, but he's not unloading. You know, he's not like a brawler. He's calculated with everything he does. So even though he's moving forward, it's kind of like him getting you to shoot first, getting you to throw the first punch, so he can counter, so he can slip, so he can do whatever he plans to do after you throw it first. And he was trying to do that a little bit in the rematch, but with that boxing stance, I felt like he made it increasingly difficult on himself. And with these adjustments I'm laying out, I think they can make the fight a bit easier, and give him a better chance at winning the fight than he did have in the rematch. So going over it again, karate stance, not the boxing stance. More kicks. It's going to be crucial for both fighters in this fight. And then be patient. Don't headhunt. Don't search for that one knockout shot. It'll come if you do everything that you're supposed to do, and if you make the adjustments you're supposed to make. It'll come. I'm sure it would. Now on Dustin's viewpoint, coming off a great win, maybe his biggest win of his career. Maybe that Max Holloway fight for the interim belt up there as well. But in terms of recognition, in terms of the money, in terms of the accolades, I think this might be the biggest fight of his career so far. And he looked great. Conor did have a shitty game plan, but we have to give props to Dustin because he had a phenomenal game plan. The kicks early were great. I will say one adjustment I think he should make is to grapple more, to wrestle more early on. He had success. He did take him down. Wasn't able to hold him down. Kind of got up relatively quick, but that's good. Mixing it up is good. He got Conor up against the fence. A lot of clinch exchanges where they were both back and forth, in charge of the clinch exchanges. But that's good. That's making Conor work. Anytime you can make Conor work, that's good for his opponent, especially early on. I would advise Dustin to wrestle more early. Not leave so much distance between them. Because if Conor's coming in that karate stance, it's going to be harder for Dustin to come in and land on him because he's going to be much longer. So I would go for takedowns, with that karate stance. That lead leg rather is there for the taking. So you can get a hold of that leg and transition it into a takedown. You can get him up against the fence, sort of like how Nate Diaz does a lot, where he gets his opponents up against the fence, and in those grueling, energy-consuming clinch exchanges, where he's hitting the head, hitting the body, just making you work. He's got his head up against your neck. He's just making you work. I think Dustin should do a lot of that early on against Conor. The other thing is, keep on the leg kicks, my man. He said recently in an interview with Brett Okamoto, I think it was yesterday, that he may not even throw calf kicks this time. I think that's a bad idea. I think he should throw, but not only calf kicks, throw kicks to the thigh, throw kicks to the body, attempt head kicks, Kicks are a huge part of this fight for both guys, and I think Dustin, it would be a travesty if he would abandon any of those kicks, especially given the success that he had in the second fight. So for Dustin, wrestling, kicks are going to be huge. I think those are the two biggest adjustments, and not really adjustments in terms of the kicks, but the wrestling, the clinching. I would do more of that early on, because I think Conor's going to be a little bit more poised, a little bit more not cautious, but patient. He's going to be more patient in this one. So I don't think the knockout is going to be there early on for Dustin. So those are my thoughts on the fight. I do have Conor winning this fight. I think Conor can get it done inside 3 rounds if he makes those necessary adjustments that he has to make, and that I very much think he can and will make. So those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Those links will be in the description below as well. Let me know who you think wins, man. I can't wait for this fight. The biggest fight of the year, biggest fight of the summer for sure. It's gonna be a great contest, man. And man, all the marbles for both guys. This is a big gamble for both. Conor, can he right the wrong of that last fight? He's never lost 2 in a row. Dustin, can he prove that last fight wasn't a fluke, you know, and propel himself to a title shot? If Dustin loses, that he kisses his title shot goodbye. That could be the last time he gets a title shot, you know, if winning this fight. But if he loses, he may not ever get a chance at a title shot again. Conor, if he loses, man, is all that, has he finally fallen off? Is Mr. Mac no more? Is Conor McGregor no more? I see an afterthought now. You know, big stakes makes for the best fights. Both guys have so much on the line, and I can't wait for it, man. That's the video, guys. Appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.